So you've been a member of the armed services and you are looking to buy a home and you keep hearing about the VA mortgage product. What is it? What does it mean? And how do you qualify? Stick around. We're going to get into all of that today. Hello, Central Maine. It is your realtor, Nick Isgro with eXp Realty. And like I said at the beginning, today we are going to go through all of the qualifications and all of the benefits really that come along with using the VA mortgage loan product that a lot of people out there qualify for, but really just don't understand what it is, what it means, and what it takes to get this thing from start to finish so that you can become a homeowner using this really wonderful product for our veterans. Now, before I get into that, I do want to welcome you here to the channel. And in fact, if you are a veteran that is watching this channel, just want to say thank you. Thanks so much. We certainly appreciate all that you've done and maybe all you're doing right now for us here at home so we can continue with our daily lives. And if you are new to the channel, if you've never been here before, and you are interested in Maine real estate, perhaps you're in the market to buy or sell, or maybe you're just looking for a little bit of information to help you with your journey, do me a favor, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, knock that little alarm bell, you'll be notified every time we put out new content. So first of all, what is the VA loan? Well, the VA loan is not actually a loan that is given by the Department of Veteran Affairs. So if you Google VA loan or Veteran Affairs, you're not going to find the two are necessarily hand in hand. You'll get some information from the Bureau of Veteran Affairs, but you're not going to find an actual lending product there. You're going to find a lot of independent lenders, local banks that are going to be putting out the VA loan product. You'll be able to find a lot more information from them, and that is because this is a loan product that is lent out to you through these private lenders, but the loans will eventually be backed by the VA or the Bureau of Veterans Affairs. So that's why it might be a little bit confusing when you go out there and you type in VA loan and you just find all kinds of information. It's because that these are put out actually by private lenders. And in fact, if you are in the Central Maine area, if you're looking for this particular loan product, we do have some great local lenders here in the Central Maine region that are very, very familiar with the VA loan products that would be able to help you from start to finish. Go ahead and shoot me a comment or a note. I'd be happy to hook you up with one of them at your convenience. All right, so who qualifies exactly for a VA loan? What are the qualifications? I'm actually going to read this. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it as well, just so you can have an understanding, or go through from start to finish of what is listed online as all of the qualifications or potential qualifications to qualify for this loan type. One is you have to have served 90 consecutive days of active service during wartime. You could have served 181 days of active service during peacetime. You have 6 years of service in the National Guard or Reserves, or you are the spouse of a service member who has died in the line of duty or as a result of service-related disability. So those are the qualifications. If you meet any one of those criteria, there's a really good chance that you're going to qualify for the VA loan. And by working with the lender of your choice, you can get your certificate of eligibility to get that loan and get started on the underwriting process. So what is the big appeal for the VA loan? Well, honestly, one of the biggest appeals for the VA loan are two things. One, you can finance 100% of your mortgage on this loan, and you can do so, by the way, without private mortgage insurance. Now remember, on any other loan type, really, if you have less than 20% down or less than 20% equity against that loan that you're getting on the home, you're going to have to pay for private mortgage insurance until you meet that ratio. Not so with a VA loan. There is no private mortgage insurance. You can finance 100% of the loan on there. The other reason is because there are typically very advantageous rates for our veterans to take advantage of in order to purchase the home. So there is a little caveat to that. So while there is not a requirement for a down payment, and while there is no private mortgage insurance, there is, specifically to this loan product, what is called a VA loan funding fee. And what that funding fee is going to depend on the percentage of your down payment. So if you have 0 to a 4.9% of the loan down payment, the funding fee would be 2.3% of the loan. If you were to be 5% to 9.9%, it would be 1.6% of the loan on the funding fee, and anything over 10% down, it would be 1.4% funding fee. So not a huge amount depending on the loan amount. I mean, obviously if you get out $1 million loan, it could be a little bit. And that's the other thing. There's no loan limits on the VA loan like you have with FHA or some other loan types. It doesn't really matter what the mortgage is. If you qualify for that mortgage, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to take out 100% and there's no cap on the actual loan amount. But there is the funding fee. So what are some other qualifications that you need to qualify for the VA loan aside from hitting the benchmarks that were set by the Department of Veteran Affairs? Well, one is you have to have a 580 or over credit score. And here's what I'll say about that. If you are between 580 and 640 on your credit score, you're not going to qualify for the automatic underwriting. So this is going to require a manual underwriting and you might be held to some stricter standards. Now there are, again, because these are out through private lenders, there are lenders out there who are going to say that as an institution, they don't lend to people who have less than a 640 credit score. So if you do have less than a 640 credit score, you want to get that out in the open and discuss that with the lender of your choice on the front end so you determine whether you're going to make it to this phase. But if you are above a 640, you should be all set with the underwriting and be able to go through the automatic underwriting process. Again, some of this depending on the specific lender that you choose, but these are just some generic guidelines to think about. Now, one of the other great things about the VA loan is that they do have pretty decent debt to income standards. On paper, the VA loans qualify for anyone who is less than 41% debt to income on the debt to income ratio, but as your credit gets higher, if you have good credit, they tend to be pretty lenient with this amount, and people do often qualify for these loans with even higher than 41% debt to income ratios. So what kind of properties are you able to finance with a VA loan? Well, really it's going to be any single family home that you are using as your primary residence. Yes, condos do apply for this, but it has to be a VA approved condo. If you're in and around a base, for example, you're probably going to find most of the condo associations around there are going to qualify for that. If you're in a more rural area, it might be a little bit more difficult, but they can do some spot approvals for that. You want to talk again with your lender about what that might entail should it not be a VA approved condo. Now, can you use it for rental property? Well, yes and no. When you purchase the home, you have to be using that home as your primary residence. So it's something that you have to live in. We would recommend for at least a year when you get the loan product. But after that first year, after you've purchased the home, you can move out of that. You can turn that into a rental property, and you will have the ability to again use the VA loan benefit to purchase another home for your residence down the road. So that's some pretty flexible standards here, and I think a pretty advantageous product if you're looking to getting into investing and you want to take that time to move into the home first, use it as your single family residence, or maybe you do and just by happenstance you get relocated, but you want to keep that as a rental property. That's going to be okay. You get to still do that and still use the loan product for your future home purchase. Now, to be a borrower for a VA loan, aside from the standards that we've already gone over, you do want to have steady employment for at least 2 years. They're going to want to see 2 years of employment record. You'll want to show some steady income during that period. That's really the down and dirty on the VA loan benefit. If you are a veteran, you qualify for this. These are great products. And at the end of this video right now, I want to bust a big myth that is out there. And this is a myth that you not only hear in the marketplace through consumers who have been misinformed, but I hear this a lot among realtors as well. And it's just simply not true. And that is that VA appraisals are super tough. They're going to be very difficult to get through, very rigorous. That's just not true. The VA appraisers are really going to be mostly coming from the same pool of appraisers. They do have to be VA qualified. I can tell you, like here in Central Maine, there's 3 VA appraisers, so we are going to be very familiar with them on most of the VA loans that we handle. But the appraisal is going to be done just like any other appraisal that you go through. They're going to go out to the property, they're going to take pictures, take notes, and they're going to be using a lot of the same comped properties that the other appraisers that would have shown up to look at that property are going to view. The only difference is they're going to check a couple of things. They're going to be looking for things like flaky paint, is there broken windows, are there structural foundational issues. Basically, they want to make sure that the house is livable, but they're not by any means doing some kind of full inspection or anything like that. They're just checking a couple of major points to make sure that the home is actually occupiable for you as the borrower. But by and large, the appraisal, they're not going to appraise it for different amounts. They're not stricter on the limits or anything like that. They're going to do an honest appraisal like they would any other appraisal. So you've heard it here first if you haven't heard it already. They're not really stricter. They're just checking a couple of boxes to make sure the home is livable for you. All right, that's it today, folks. If you are in the market to buy a home and you might actually be eligible to use a VA loan, I hope you do talk about it with your local lender. It is a great loan product. I've had a lot of success both on the selling side as well as the buyer side working with VA loan products. So please make sure it's something you consider. If it's something you've been through before and maybe you have gone through the process, you had a good experience, or maybe even had a bad experience, we'd love to hear about those too. Always good to get different points of view. Go ahead and drop a comment below. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for sticking around to the end of this video. And until the next one, I'll see you next time.